people? What's up, world? It is Monday, September 22nd, and I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ because with Him, all things is possible. Top of the top to all my people out there moving around, all my kids that's going to school. Please arrive there safe and go straight to school. No skipping, no hooky playing. To all my parents is out there moving around, taking the kids to school. Please get them there safe. If you're coming home, if you're coming and you're getting off of work, uh, get home safe. If you're going to work, get there safe. And if you're late, you're just late. No rushing. I'm gonna explain to you why I said that in a minute. I hope everybody's feeling blessed and appreciated and thankful for seeing another day and with knowing with Him all things is possible. Everybody that's traveling, get there safe. I'm gonna get into something today about safety that a lot of y'all seem to still not be understanding. Welcome, first of all, everybody, to the No Duck Zone podcast. If it's your first time, and if it's not your first time, welcome anyway. Um, I want everybody to make sure they tap in with this channel. We have a lot to give. With the morning chop ups, it's not just about talking. We don't criticize. It seems like we do, but we don't criticize over here. We just speak the truth. Um, because there's a big thing going on right now about freedom of speech. Um, it's like they're trying to take freedom of speech back. But we're gonna get into that. All right, so let's go. I got things I got to do today, so we're gonna chop it up. So for my newcomers, my regulars, everyone, welcome to the No Duck Zone podcast. Let's go. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and to remind people that this is one of the best damn places to come to. So, I want to go back to two things I want to address. I want to address something that I heard this morning as I'm looking at the news. That I believe it was yesterday. Um, that a 50-year-old woman had been killed because there was an idiot who decided that he was driving fast because he claims he was hungry and he was trying to get to Dunkin' Donuts to go eat. Now, what kind of stupid? I'm sorry, y'all might have not even heard me. The volume was down. Y'all only might have heard me a little bit. Shit. All right, it doesn't matter. So this guy claims he was trying to get to Dunkin' Donuts to eat. So he was rushing. In the mix of him rushing to go get himself something to eat, he ends up killing this woman who I believe she was a construction worker. How many times have I said, oh, every time I say when I get on here, get to where you're going safe. And if you are late going somewhere, you're just going to be late. If you are hungry and you're saying, I need to stop at the gas station, I need to stop at the grocery store, I need to stop wherever, that's your problem. It's your problem. I just sat here and ate something right now. It's not going to hold me all day, but I stopped to eat something. So when I get to where I'm going, I'll be all right. Safety is always important. So when somebody's rushing, or when you're rushing and you're in the car and you're not thinking, if I run past this red light, here we go. If I run past this red light, I could possibly crash into another car, or I could kill a kid walking across the street. I could kill an elderly lady. I can hurt somebody. Let me not use the word kill, because freedom of speech ain't freedom of speech anymore. So you got to be careful with what you say. If I hurt somebody or put somebody out their misery, I could tarnish or I could hurt a family. But we don't think about that. It's very important for us to monitor our safety. Now, this 50-year-old woman is not going to be here anymore because there's an idiot that decided because he was hungry and he's rushing the Dunkin' Donuts and you killed her, which means that is the most lamest excuse. And then you even admitting that you were going fast because you were trying to get the Dunkin' Donuts. If that's not the dumbest shit I've ever heard. But this is why I tell y'all safety is always important. And I don't understand what part of safety don't y'all understand. If you are rushing to get somewhere you should have been, that's your fault. Half of y'all are breaking y'all neck for a job that don't give a damn about y'all really anyway. Let's be real. How many of y'all out there are rushing to get to work? I'm super late. I'm super late. But your job don't. There's only a small portion of y'all where your job is treat you guys the way you wanted to be treated. But a lot of jobs out here don't give a damn. They don't want to hear about you being stuck on the train. They don't want to hear about you were in a cab and you got stuck in traffic. Because the first thing they tell you is anyway, well, you should have left 2 hours early. You don't have to be to work till 9 o'clock. But they want you to get up out your house at 7. Miss Fields, what's up? Makes no sense. I tell y'all every day on here, safety is first. And the most lamest excuse that you can use is that I'm rushing in traffic because I need to go get something to eat and I'm hungry. That is the most dumbest excuse. When you can eat before you leave your house. Do you understand how jacked up and how stupid this world is and how dumb we make ourselves with some of the shit we say? It makes no sense to me with some of the shit y'all say and do. It's stupid. It just makes this country look more dumb and dumber than what it is because of the stupid shit that comes out of your mouth. So now we have, and she's not the only mother. There's been kids while they've been with their mothers that have been killed because somebody was driving reckless or rushing to get somewhere. I live right here in New York City with these idiots every day. The traffic here is have to be like no other city in the world. It is crazy here. Everybody's rushing. I don't want to say everybody, but some people are just rushing to go nowhere. You think people are trying to really get somewhere, and people ain't really trying to go nowhere. And then when you see where they're going, you were rushing to do that for that parking spot? So you damn near was about to hit everybody because you were trying to get a parking spot. Or you were trying to get to a store before it closed. Read the quick. Well, good morning, Jose. We all say good morning over here before we come in speaking. Good morning. And yeah, I'll read the book. I'll see what it's about. I'll look it up. So I tell y'all this, not to preach to y'all, but safety is always first. Some of y'all seem to not still understand that. So if you happen to be going somewhere and you're late, that's your problem. Sometimes it's not your problem. Sometimes it could be the train. Sometimes it could be the bus. It could be Uber. It could be Lyft. It could be. Okay. So, and sometimes it is your fault that you're late going somewhere. Sometimes you getting on the train makes you more late, or getting in your car and getting caught in traffic makes you more late. But to see somebody get murdered and killed, I mean, we lost a great fighter, Pernell Whitaker. No matter what they say about Pernell Whitaker or whatever addiction he had, you got to remember he got killed getting hit by a car. Now, I don't know if he was intoxicated when he came across the street. I don't know if the driver didn't see him. I don't know. Did he walk out in the middle of the street? I don't know. No, Vernon Forrest didn't get killed by a car. He got killed because some people tried to rob him. Totally different. He didn't get killed by no car. They tried to rob him at this gas station, and he fought for his life. And I think somebody came up behind him and smoked him. But for these people who are rushing to go nowhere, and some of y'all do it. Some of y'all on here, I know y'all got cars. I know y'all got cars. Y'all be rushing to go nowhere. For what? Rushing to go nowhere. We're not speaking about somebody on a train or bus, because a lot of times I rush sometime when I'm on the train. That's because I can't stand being on the train. Bang, but what up though, Bang? I see you. When do we start keeping safety first? Because it seems like safety doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to people anymore. And it kind of sucks in a way. Because why should somebody else get hurt or get killed because you're trying to rush? Maybe you're not late. Maybe you're just trying to get to work so you won't be late, but you're rushing. That's nobody's fault. Nobody cares. You're rushing to go where? To get to a job that don't give a shit about you anyway? Oh, I'm late for a doctor's appointment. Well, you should have got your ass there. You know what time your appointment was. Even when somebody's pregnant and you're trying to get them to the hospital, yeah, you can rush, but even within, you got to be a little patient. That's more of an excuse. Or somebody was shot or stabbed or having a heart attack or whatever, you're trying to get them to the hospital. Then maybe a rush is a little necessary, as long as you have police and an ambulance behind you where they can guide you safe. But for you to tell me I'm rushing because I'm late for work or because I'm hungry, that sounds like a you problem. So you're going to kill everybody because you're hungry? You're going to hurt somebody because you're hungry or because you're late for work? Makes no sense. This is why I always say I tell the kids, get to school safe. No skipping. Because you skip school, it's safety. Now we don't know the safety. If you skip school and nobody knows where you at, what happens? Now we're aware of your safety. Now we have to be aware of your safety. We don't know where you at. I tell the parents, when you coming home from work or going to work, get there safe. If you drive, get there safe. If you're coming home, get there safe. If you're taking the kids to school, because now you're going to rush, I got to take them to school, and then I got to rush to work. No, you don't. You should have had your ass up at a decent time. Should have had your ass up at a decent time. And if your kids are 15, 16, 17, they should be taking their asses to school themselves. Just saying. Unless y'all live somewhere up in the mountains. But if you are late, that's your business. It's sad to see that this mother was just taken away from here because of an idiot that's telling people that he was rushing because he was hungry trying to get the Dunkin' Donuts. Disgusting. And for you people who don't want to listen to this, y'all are disgusting. Because soon as somebody ain't talking boxing, everybody want to dip out. It is what it is. This is real. Now let's get to this whole freedom of speech shit. I'm not finna go into the history of it. If you know, you know. It's been like this for some years now where Jeff Spark, what up? It's been like this for some years now that you have said stuff, we have said stuff, and we have suffered the consequences to it. A lot of us have these YouTube platforms. We got these platforms where you're on here to speak your mind. But then society tells you to be careful, right? There's some things that can be said, it can't be said, but be careful. And we do that, and there's still consequences to deal with. And I don't understand that. See, you can have a platform on your own, you can have your own TV show, you can have your own talk show, right? But you got to remember, you might have all that, but if you're working with somebody or if you're on somebody's network, I can have no Doug Zone, but if I'm in somebody's radio station doing no Doug Zone, even though it's my platform, if I'm in somebody's radio station and I just so happen to say something, now they say, yo, no Doug Zone, we got to take you off the air. Remember that comment you made about the president? That comment you made about the mayor, the governor? Or you made this comment about somebody's sexuality? Yeah, buddy. Hate to be the bearer of bad news. We don't want to do it, but it's bad for ratings. We can't have it. And besides, we like that guy. Oh, we don't like him, but it's still bad for ratings. This is the reason why I say I can never really. It's crazy to say you don't want to do business with people because you have to, but it kind of puts me in fear of ever doing business with somebody because you're not telling me what I can and can't say. I'm independent, and people are not going to go independent and be their own boss just to have somebody else tell them what they can do. Granted, we all got to listen to somebody, but nobody's going to go independent just to have somebody tell them what they can and cannot do. See, we've been talking this freedom of speech shit for years. At one time, we couldn't talk. Y'all forgot, one time my people, we had no rights to nothing. They didn't want us to learn how to read, write, nothing. Didn't want us to know a damn thing. Half of us couldn't even spell our names, let alone pronounce them. So now it's a big thing with this freedom of speech shit coming back around. Because we live in a soft ass world that's sensitive. Now, granted, there are some things that you shouldn't say that could be hurtful. There's a lot of things I won't say. I'm not a person that think because I have a show, I could just come up and say whatever I want. I say what needs to be said, and then I keep it pushing. But there's certain topics we won't have on here. There's certain things we won't speak about because it's risky, and you don't want people looking at you like, okay, that's what this show's about. I don't be wanting that. So I'll go, okay, I'll speak about this, I'll speak about that, and then after that, we're gonna move on respectfully. But you can't tell me that we are not allowed to speak our mind. I don't know what world y'all live in. And I mean society. I'm talking about the people who are against it. I'm not talking about y'all that be want to say stuff, but it is some of y'all that go a little too far with what y'all say. Because we realize it's 2025 and they will still cancel you, take you off the air, or find ways to blackball you. What's going on, Josh Sanders? They will find ways to blackball you. What's the guy from the late night show? They just underrated. What's going on? They just took him off the air because he made a comment about the dude that got killed. Y'all know the Kirk guy. Yes, they just took him off the air. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, we can only say what we want to say as long as it's respectful. Once you get out of hand or get out of line with that, oh man, Josh, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but we can't do business with you no more. So we gotta let you, we gotta take you off air. We gotta take you off the radio. You know, when you get these TV shows, when you get these radio stations, YouTubers, we all got something in common. Even the news, they'll take you off the news. Huh? It's crazy. This is the reason why I look at life and I go, you know what? I don't think I could ever do business with anybody because I'll be too afraid of doing business with somebody. And then I'm sitting up here talking how I'm talking. And then somebody goes, yeah. And even though I'm not saying nothing crazy, just me speaking up for freedom of speech, they might not want me to do that. Yeah, you know what? Sometimes, Josh, that's not good enough because this is the reason why we have these platforms. Now, I get what you're saying. I think there's just certain things that don't need to be spoken about in public, but this is what this is for. The radio stations, the TV shows, YouTube, because the news do it all the time. If y'all look at it, right? If you look at the news don't keep nothing in the privacy of their home. The news do it all the time. If you look at the news is probably more negative than it is positive. And I go, yo, that's crazy. It's just crazy to me how, and it seems like you just got to keep your mouth shut on stuff. Now, certain stuff, granted, I will keep my mouth shut on. Not that I'm afraid that somebody's going to say something. It's just certain things are not worth talking about. Like if you notice, right, I never talked about the Diddy trial. Never talked about the R. Kelly trial. Never talked about Bill Cosby. Never talked about that. Why? Because I didn't need to. Those were a bunch of black men. I wasn't going to judge them. If they did anything, God was going to deal with them. But the crazy thing is, everybody was speaking down about all three of them. They weren't going to take nobody off the air for that. But you speak about somebody who don't look like you and they're deceased, oh, your ass is coming off the air. I never talked about any of those situations, right? While everybody was up here with the no Diddy and Diddy this and Diddy this. And I'm like, I'm not about to join the fucking circus. Because no matter what that man did, that's still a black man. And whatever he did, he's going to suffer the consequences where he's at. It ain't my job to judge him. I'll let God deal with him. While everybody else was out making Diddy videos, trying to get views. Because, that's what matters to y'all, views. If I have to sell out to get views, that's what I'll do. But y'all never heard me make any of those videos. You hardly would hear me say a no Diddy. For what? When the whole damn world was saying it. I didn't need to because I wasn't a follower. But there's certain topics you wouldn't hear me speak about. Those are very touchy topics. You might hear me make some jokes, but they were very touchy topics that I felt like it wasn't necessary for my show to bring up. Well, why not do it and everybody else doing it? I'm not everybody else, stupid. What makes you better than everybody else? Okay, I'm glad y'all asked. perfect question. What makes No Doug Zone think he's better than everybody else? Because I'm not a fucking follower. I'm not a follower. That's why. That's what makes me better. I'm not a follower. I do my own thing. So the person who asked that, thank you for asking that. Even though nobody really asked me that, but just in case you're thinking about asking me that, that's my answer right there. I don't follow. But when I feel like something needs to be said, if we can't say it, or it's what we say that get us canceled, it's crazy. And this shows you right here, even if you have your own talk show, even if you work at a radio station, something can still happen to you. If you're not out there like Gilly and Wallow, and you're not out there like Cam and Mace, and a lot of other people who have their own shit where nobody can do anything to them, you're in deep doodle. You're in deep doodle right now. I don't give a damn who you are, who you think you are. You're in deep doodle because taking somebody off a late night show or a radio station, or possibly if they was on the news and they work for news, no matter how many years you've been working, they can take you off. That shows you no one's safe. No one's safe in these YouTube streets. You can say some shit and YouTube can get you right up out of here. How many of y'all that y'all know somebody done had 2 or 3 channels on here? How many? It can happen, right? Of course it can. It's happened to a lot of great people. Some people had deserved to lose their channel. Others didn't. The people that didn't deserve to lose their channel are good content creators. And then you got some people who are not that much good content creators and they get to keep their channel, but they're the ones that should be losing it. This is the world we live in. So I'm going to be honest with you, yo. I don't want to sound ignorant when I say this. I don't need to read no books to know about no history or this and that, and all that other shit, because we pretty much know. I don't care about what the world's coming to and all this. All that shit don't mean nothing to me no more. Right? At the end of the day, when you want to speak your mind, make sure before you do that, you look at the position that you're in. Look at the position that you're in. And don't say that, hey, man, I didn't think that that was going to happen. I didn't think that they were going to take that personal. I didn't think they would either suspend me or fire me. Anybody could be let go. See, YouTube could let me go, but No Doug Zone ain't going nowhere. I'll just jump on another platform, go back to Instagram, shit, Facebook. It's so much better when you own something, when some shit is yours. Jimmy Kimmel, yeah, the late night show was his, but the network wasn't his. When you have a late night show and you're on a network, gotta watch it. Shouldn't have to, but it happens. That's the fear I have. If I was on the network, if No Doug Zone was on the network, I don't think I would want to do it, because then I gotta sugarcoat everything that I say, or I gotta watch what I say, or I gotta put it some way for somebody to understand it. Like, I'm not big on voting. I don't tell people not to vote. I have my reasons. I don't know who I'm voting for. I have to study who I'm voting for. And every year we keep getting the same results. But I don't get out there and tell people not to vote. Now, if I had where I was on the network and I was doing that, they'll take me off the fucking network just for saying that. You're telling people not to vote. You're telling people that you're against voting. You can't do that. And here it is. It'd be a whole big ass. Oh, why you don't vote, McLean? Because God is my president. I don't depend on no human. But I won't tell people not to go out there and vote. I just tell people don't vote don't vote getting your feelings involved. Don't vote getting your feelings involved because it can lead to something that you don't want it to lead to. But when you're voting, get out there and do it. I won't tell people not to do it. It's almost that time of the season anyway. But if I got on a network, even though it's my show, and I got on the network and did that, it'll be over for me. I'm out of here. Even though I might have thought I didn't do anything that bad, I'm out of here. D Free, what up? I'm out of here. You got to be careful with what you say. Forget how you say it. They're not canceling you nowadays because how you saying shit. They're canceling you because of what you're saying. Because I can say something how I want to say it. But it's what you're saying. What up, BBO? Everybody go subscribe to BBO Sports. Between you and me, the voting was us. Yeah. Hey, Josh, I don't believe in it because of the stuff. I've been on this earth long enough to see shit. And that's just me. I have my reasons. But I also try not to complain what goes on in the world, because the first thing they'll say is, this is the excuse that we've been hearing, especially in the Black community. This is what makes me sick, and I've been hearing this for years. Had you would have voted, then you wouldn't have nothing to complain about, as if voting makes everything fucking better. That's the first excuse our people go with. That's the first excuse. And I go, okay, well, that doesn't make shit better. But okay. Black power. Because, that's the only time we all get together is when it's voting. But it's just crazy. It's super crazy how that freedom of speech shit is a rap. It's been a rap for some time, but they really getting serious with it now. Man, my mama and daddy screaming. Yeah, man. I know, Josh. I can imagine. I can only imagine. And I'm not knocking nobody for it. I ain't knocking nobody for it. Because what you can't do, what I always believed, and y'all have heard me say this a million times, do not try to push your beliefs on somebody. There's a lot of things I believe. I can't push that on y'all. What I tell y'all, don't do what I say. No, that's me. Get out there and do this. Get out there and do that. Hey, if you don't believe in freedom of speech, you can get out there and go say something crazy. It could come back to haunt you. It could come back to, it could come back to bite you in your ass. Go ahead. I don't know, go ahead. I don't worry about it because I don't work for nobody. I don't think I ever want to, far as my podcast, because you're not going to tell me I got to watch my mouth. You're just not going to tell me that. That's not going to work out for you. If you think you're going to come and tell me that, it's not going to work out for you. I promise to God it ain't going to work out for you. It's just not. Because I'm going to do what I do. So, excuse me, y'all. Told y'all I got somewhere I got to be, so I need to get myself together. So, y'all walk with me, talk with me. It's not going to work out. You know what I mean? And You know, they say everybody has to listen to somebody. I don't have a problem with not listening to nobody, but me not listening to you and you telling me what to do or what I can and can't say is two different things. It's two different things. It's a damn shame that it's like you have to put your words on mute, or you got to find a way to say it, because there's going to be somebody lurking in the shadows telling you that you can't say that. You know, they say it's consequences to everything. When they mean there's consequences to everything, they mean literally, because you can't say a damn thing. You know, when we were younger, right, we was always told, and some of us still follow this rule, that there's a time to talk and there's a time to shut up. It's very true. It is a time to talk and a time to shut up. But it seemed like to me, there's a time to shut up and then there's a time to shut up. Because when it's time to talk, you still be in silence. Make that make sense. If you ask me for my opinion, this is a punk ass, soft ass world we live in, and it's been a punk ass, soft ass world for years. For years, it has been like that. And it's just sad because you hear everybody that's on some type of channel or on the late night show or whatever show it is, man, I want to be careful with my words. Everybody shouldn't have to keep doing that. What is the point of you having a show and then not be able to say at least something that you have on your mind without society just waiting around the corner to say, yeah, we just waiting to cancel his ass. We've been waiting to get him. We've been waiting to get her. It's pathetic. It is sad and it's pathetic. Sorry, y'all. I told y'all about the annoying ass neighborhood I live in. They're super annoying around here. I swear they are. Whenever y'all make some money and y'all live in the ghetto, just make sure y'all get out. Go move somewhere where there ain't so much damn noise. That's why No Duck Zone needs to be successful. So that's where I can go, where I ain't got to hear nonsense like this. But yeah, man, it's sad to see somebody lose their job off that. And that's not just you being famous. That's even with a regular 9 to 5. That could happen. They need to bring our ways back where they, Josh, they could, but I don't know, brother. All I know is that this world gets worse and worse and worse and worse. They'll tell you in school, what's so crazy? They tell you in school that if you got a question, raise your hand. You got any questions about this, raise your hand. If something's on your mind, go find somebody to speak to, right? But in the real world, just certain things you can't say. You can't speak on. It's just, this shit is all confusing to me. It's just all confusing to me, and I don't understand it. And I never did understand it. But then I realized there's just some things that ain't meant for you to understand. And I get it. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad when we was coming up. Absolutely not. It wasn't that bad. It's jacked up now, man. And it makes me say, somebody comes to me, there's a network that comes to me and wants to work with me, Josh. 9 times out of 10, I probably would tell them no, Josh. And it sounds crazy because the first thing people think about, and this is y'all problem, this is why they can get y'all to do anything for money, because y'all think all money is good money. So when somebody comes to you with a proposition, the first thing somebody turns it down, y'all gonna look at them and say, you crazy for turning that down. That lets me know a lot of y'all mindset that anybody can get y'all to do anything for money. That's why I call a lot of y'all prostitutes. Y'all over here bending over and getting on your knees for anything because somebody come to you with money. I don't think there's a network that it's not about if they could pay me enough. It's a network I don't think I could work with, because when I got some on my mind, like I do on here with the morning chop-ups, I'm going to speak it. Now, you see the conversation I have on here in the morning chop-ups, that might be a network that might not want me to do that, or they might want me to sugarcoat what I'm saying so it won't hurt anybody's feelings. Why the hell would I do that? To make society comfortable? No, sir. I wouldn't do it. Yeah, they might as well be prostitutes. If somebody came to me right now, if there was a network that said we'll give you 5 million or whatever the number is, I don't know. If I turned that down, you know how many people will call me idiots? They will call me idiots instead of looking at the bigger picture. I would get called an idiot for it, Josh. I bet you bottom dollar I would be called an idiot for it. Yeah, they will call me an idiot for it. Because the first thing they're going to say is, you ain't never seen that kind of money. Why would you turn that down? Because I know what's going to come with it. No Duck Zone ain't no sweet-ass place where you think you could just come and change the rules and then try to make me sugarcoat what I'm saying to not hurt nobody's feelings. Now, I try to respect people's feelings as much as I can. That's why I try to keep shit on here a little respectful, but at the same time, I'm not going to be up here sugarcoating shit. I'm not going to do it. And it's just a damn shame that that's the kind of world we live in. And then you got some people who condone that. All money ain't good. No, all money ain't good money. That's why you'll never see me take it. Let me tell you something. Before I could work with a network, I'll be my own network. I'll create my own damn network. And that's the problem. You know, we get with these, they get with these networks. It was kind of like the thing with Nick Cannon, right? Y'all remember the thing that happened with him? It was something that happened with him. And I think, remember, he was with, what was he with? MTV, VH1, I think. He switched over, said something, and they were trying to take him off the network. It was something that Nick said. I don't remember. Think he was on MTV, VH1. Something happened. I forgot what Nick said. But that's a prime example. That's a prime example. Nick Cannon said something. What they do? Took his ass right off. And even though he ended up getting back on, that was besides the point. You can't win. Yeah. It's just, Josh, it's disgusting, brother. It's disgusting. And we're not talking about people speaking their mind and they saying nasty things. The dude on a late night show, from what I was hearing, wasn't really saying nothing bad. But because, it might be his show, but it ain't his network, we can't have that, brother. So we got to ghost you. We got to get you up out of here. That's a crock of shit. How can we influence people to speak their mind, to go get a talk show, to go get a radio show, to get on YouTube, and then we have nonsense like that? We shouldn't have to speak privacies We shouldn't have to speak in the privacy of our home. Yes, there's certain things that can't be said, ladies and gentlemen. We understand that. We get that part. It's just going to be things you can't say live. Cool. I get it. But god damn. Yeah, he was a victim of that. And this is what I'm saying. This is why I tell people, you got to be careful. That's why everybody wouldn't be able to come to me and say, hey, we interested in working with No Doug Zone. And it sounds good. Oh my God, these people want to work with me. This is super dope. But you don't realize that No Doug Zone wouldn't be the No Doug Zone that y'all familiar with. Oh, matter of fact, the name will stay the same, but then with me, y'all wouldn't be familiar with me because y'all be like, wait a minute, this ain't the Clarence we know. Who the hell is this dude? Because the first thing y'all gonna say is, he don't talk like that. But the first thing people gonna say is, for the people who get it, I understand why he doing that, because he's working with them, so it's only so much he can say. Nah, hell no. Hell no. I'd rather not do it. Yeah, well, you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. That's why I don't get involved in all that, Josh. Underrated, what up? Make sure y'all go subscribe to Underrated Darkness. Like, share, subscribe. That's why I don't really care about that when they speak all that, Josh. That's why I don't give a shit about none of that. I really don't. No disrespect to anybody who's for that, but that's why you don't see me speaking. Because I don't be caring about none of that shit. All I want to try to do is to be successful in life and be able to take care of my wife and my family the best way I can. That's why I don't be caring about all that shit, man. None of this shit makes sense to me. It really don't. None of this shit makes sense to me. And it's all bad if you ask me. It's all bad. All of it. It's ridiculous. Well, I tell you that all the time. I always say that every day. I'll be like, it's hard enough. It's hard enough being a Black American. It's hard. And that's not making an excuse. That's real. It's hard enough. And that's a fact. Straight up. You know what I mean? But all that you can't speak your mind shit, man, or you got to be careful, or you got to sugarcoat something so people can understand where you coming from. I ain't about to do all that, bro. I'm just not about to do all that. If you can't understand where I'm coming from, that sounds like a you problem. Because I'm going to speak my mind. Whenever and however. I know what type of topics I want to go on my show. I know what topic. I don't. Like I told you, that's why the Diddy trial I never worried about bringing that up or somebody's going to cancel me. No. Because if you're going to take a shot at him, you got to take a shot at everybody that was like him, because he wasn't the only one that did the shit that he was accused of. But I ain't seen nobody else take a shot at nobody else that was like that. Freedom March, what's going on? Salute. I didn't see anybody else take a shot at anybody else outside their race that did what he was accused of. That's why I never spoke about it. That's why. Because as Black people, it's bad enough we going around out here and we keep just putting each other down and we think that it's okay. We have no issue with it. I tell y'all that all the time.
Be careful out here. Because while we out here making fun of each other and picking on each other, they building jails out here for our black asses. Y'all seem to not understand that part. Y'all seem to not understand that. It doesn't become real to y'all until you actually start feeling it and seeing it. So, you know, with this whole freedom of speech thing, I'm going to tell you like this. I'm a grown man. I don't need nobody coming to me telling me what I can and can't say, because I know what should be said and what shouldn't be said. And as long as I'm breathing, and as long as I got my show, and as long as I'm independent and I work for myself and nobody else, I'm going to speak my mind. It's just that simple. We all have a voice for a reason. And if we don't use our voice, if we don't start using our voice, and not just using it, but if we don't start using it for the right reasons, because, you know, when we start speaking, it scares them. It scares the hell out of them when we start speaking. Because, you know, the truth hurts. Excuse me, y'all. If I hear a lot of banging, it's just because I'm moving around in my room. I'm just getting ready to step out and handle some business. So, yeah, you know, at the end of the day, you still have to be careful, y'all. You know, you can have like I said, you can have a radio show, you can have a late night show, but if you're on somebody's network, yeah, they're gonna ghost you. They're gonna ghost you. And this is the reason why I wouldn't probably. And, you know, somebody's gonna hear this that might be interested in doing something with me and be like, yo, we can't go grab him because he just said he ain't interested. But you didn't listen to why I said I wasn't interested. Listen to why I said I'm not interested. Why would I not be interested? Because you're not going to change what it is that I'm doing. And even though I speak on boxing is one of the things I speak on, right? You have a lot of other content creators that don't speak about nothing else but boxing. For some of them, that's it, right? And that's just it. There's only a few of them that go outside that. But I'm one of the ones that I do both. And that's why the morning chop-ups was created. I could do both, right? And I'm damn good at what I do. Because, like I always say, we got a bigger fight going on in the world than boxing. It's that simple. But it's sad because, you know, these kids that's going to grow up that want to speak their mind, you know, and that's the reason why when they have these protests and all that, and that's why they get mad, because you ain't just marching. You know, you're protesting on something you believe, you speaking your mind, and they'll be ready to lock your ass up. It's just crazy in this goofy world we live in. And I call the world goofy because it is. It's super duper goofy. It's a goofy world we live in, man. Now, y'all can say it is what it is, and that's the way of the world, but that really ain't the way of the world. It ain't how it's supposed to be. It's goofy, bro. But hey, don't listen to me. I'm just the guy who talks boxing. What the hell do I know? What do I know? Give me a second, y'all. Give me 1 second. Wait, let everything handle to themselves. Yeah. Yeah, Josh, you know, you know what, Josh? I'm at a point in life where I'm not reading no rule books. I'm not, I don't listen to this and listen to that. I mean, we all know right from wrong, right? Even the people who go out there and commit crimes, murders, steal, whatever, they know right from wrong. Everybody ain't stupid, okay? Everybody. I don't care what type of household you grew up in. Everybody know right from wrong. We all know, right? It's just a lot of us that don't give a damn. But it's just crazy how they tell you that you can't do this and can't do that, but then tell your ass to get out there and vote. They tell you to get out there and do this, do that, do this, do that, do this, do that. It's just, you know, it's just, I don't know, man. This is a very goofy world. Goofy world. You know, and we always talk about you know, when you say something that people go, well, if you don't like America, you should leave. Well, I mean, we always say that, but in all reality, America don't like America. To be real, for real, America don't like America. So what are we really saying? Should be crazy to me, man. It's just certain shit I sit back and I think about. Yo, for real, bro. America don't like America. So what are we really talking about? All they do in this place is gas your head up to do shit, fill your head up with a whole bunch of dreams and promises that ain't guaranteed, that ain't promised. Yeah, that's gonna go over a lot of people's heads. It's okay. It's okay, Josh. A lot of things go over people's heads. You know why, Josh? Because we are blind. We are blind. That's why a lot of shit go over people's heads, because we blind. We're too busy being lied to, and we go for it. Anything they tell us, we go for it. They could tell us whatever they want, and our dumb asses will go for it. Kind of just like boxing. They tell you anything in boxing, and we go for it. They can make up any story, and we go for it. And then next thing you know, we're on live 2-3 hours talking about some shit that ain't even true. Because we went for the bait. We went for the bait. That's what we do. That's what we do, bro. And it's sad. It's just certain shit I see in this world, and I just be like, yo, it's a lot of shit I just don't believe in no more, bro. It's a lot of shit I just don't believe in no more. I stopped believing in a lot of shit. You know, you pay your taxes, you follow the laws, you try to find best ways to survive. You try to do all that. And guess what? All that is still not good enough to live in this country. Because as soon as you break one rule, not 2 rules, not 3 rules, as soon as you break one rule, they're going to make you pay for it. And I ain't talking about with money. They're going to make you pay for it. You know, life is not that hard. And yes, we make it harder than what it is. But the powers that be make it more difficult. They make it more difficult when, like I said, you want to speak your mind and you're being told, oh, no, you can't say that. You can't say that. You can't do that. They'll cancel you. That's the kind of idiotic ass world we live in. Well, the best advice I can give y'all is, for anybody out there, any type of business that wants to work with me. Now, I'm not trying to be ignorant when I say this, but I'm going to be as real as I can. I might not want to be that guy that you might want to go to. And that doesn't mean I'm going to say whatever I want. I said what I feel needs to be said. See, because when you say what you want to say, you're talking out of turn. And sometimes saying what you want to say can get you in a position that you don't want to be in. So you do have to be careful in that department. But to tell somebody that they can't speak their mind or say what's on their mind, it's not going to work. That's not going to work. It's not going to work. Stephen L. Mack, what up? I'm just not that dude. I'm not that dude you can do that with. Because the same way we can get on here and have these boxing topics, we can have these debates, we can do all this shit and speak our mind. But you telling me I'm not going to say this because they might cancel me. And then I look at y'all and I go, well, shit. When you spoke about that fighter and you insulted him and you said all this and that, you could have got canceled right then and there. Well, ain't nobody gonna cancel me over no speaking about no boxer. Nobody's gonna say anything to me. So you say, so you think. Y'all be picking and choosing what y'all want to speak on. And to me, that's super crazy because it's like, if you're gonna keep that energy, keep it at all times. Y'all pick and choose who y'all be wanting to smoke with, which is crazy to me. I don't want to be, I don't be understanding the logic of that. That's just me. I don't understand the logic of that or what y'all be doing. But hey, that's just me. With the freedom of speech shit, like my man Josh said, when we was coming up, it was much different. Yeah, you had to watch what you say even then, but it wasn't so sensitive as it is today. It is super sensitive. And it's just crazy to me. I don't get it. I don't get it and I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Now, somebody has said you don't understand it because you're not reading anything. Reading ain't got a goddamn thing to do with it. And I want y'all to stop coming in here to this channel talking about read this and read that. A lot of times reading ain't got nothing to do with it. Now, there's certain books that you can read that help you understand certain things, but we don't need a book to understand certain shit that's understood already. Like my man Wilder said, you ain't got to explain what's understood. But it also shows you rather if it's politics or politician, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't matter what color your skin is, they cancel you. You see that man on the late night show, he don't look like us, but what they do, they canceled him. They canceled him. It's messed up. But it is what it is. Look, y'all, I love y'all. I got to get up out of here. I got to go bust and move. I didn't really get to talk about the Gabriel Fundora fight. I don't know. For some reason, y'all, I've been watching boxing, but I didn't feel like talking it. Maybe the day I'll come back. I don't know, man. I got my days, man, where, you know, it's just like that. I got my days where it be like that. But We'll come back later. But like I said, man, everybody be safe out there. Watch what you driving. Watch how you driving, and watch who you say what to, because they'll cancel you. Watch how you driving, because you don't need to be rushing nowhere, trying to get somewhere and kill somebody, man. We got a lot of shit in this world to worry about. This is why I always tell y'all, we got a bigger fight going on in the world than boxing. 50-year-old woman just killed yesterday, I believe, as I seen on the news this morning, because some idiots talking about he was Russian because he was trying to get the Dunkin' Donuts because he was hungry. I'm telling y'all better wake up. Y'all don't be caring because it ain't nothing with y'all. See, nobody don't care until it happens to them. When something happens to them, that's when everybody want to wake up and pay attention. That's when y'all want to wake up and pay attention. It's real out here. Y'all can act like it don't exist, but it do. It's real out here. You could be at your job and you speak in your mind when you at least you think you speaking it, they done fired you. Why? Because you spoke your mind? Like, y'all ever had a meeting when you was at work and they tell you to say what's on your mind? Did you say some shit? Then you might go a little too far with it. Now they either want to suspend you or fire you because some shit you said in the meeting. That shit is retarded. And they might not fire you right then and there, but then they want to call you when you at home and tell you some bullshit. Or wait till you come in to let you know. Why? Because of what I said? Oh, no, because of how you said it. Man, get the fuck. You can't discipline somebody for something or how they said it. Maybe for what I said, but not for how I said it. Like, hey, y'all, but this is the world that y'all believe in. This is the world that y'all trust. This is the world that tells y'all to get out there and go, this is the world. This is y'all world. This is y'all world. I'm going to say y'all world because y'all pick these people. This is y'all world. Right? I just live in it. It is what it is, y'all. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, y'all. You know, I love y'all. I might be back to talk a little about. I might not. I don't know. I ain't really been in the mood. I ain't been in the mood. I don't know. So if I do come back later on today, maybe we will talk about Gabrielle. Maybe we don't. Maybe we won't talk about anything. I don't know. Depends on what type of mood I'm in. But I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Everybody, please enjoy the rest of y'all day, man. God bless. Y'all know what it is. It's the No Doug Zone podcast. Let's go.